Whoa, oh, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be. No, no. Where did all the blue skies go? Poison is the wind that blows from the north and southern sea.
Whoa, oh, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to.
So, it's December 4th, 2014. I just came to talk about some things that have been happening. Um, that's pretty terrible. Um, I'm sure a lot of you know recently the decision on the Garner grand jury was decided. Um, another cop was allowed to basically kill somebody and get away with it. I mean, not even a trial. Um, that's unfortunate. Um, Unfortunately, I'm not surprised. Um, I expect more out of my time, but I don't know. I don't know what to think. Um, if you know me, you'll know that I have a degree in history, and so I'm a little familiar with some of the things that have happened in the United States um, to Black people and people of color. Um, and if one studies it, you'd think that it would at least progress instead of regress. Um, and I think that we're in a period of regression for a lot of things. And I wrote a little bit about it on my Tumblr, and I talked about how it's not just a Black thing, it's a rights thing for everyone. I think what you're seeing, though, is historically marginalized populations are feeling the brunt of inequality. And this inequality is centered around the powers that be, our government, our law enforcement, taking liberties that are troubling, and that the solution to this problem is for people to become a little bit more involved in their local governments, their federal government, and not just vote on general elections. Because if you're doing that, I mean, really, you're only voting every 4 years. And really, um, you have your citizenship in probably one of the richest countries in the world. Um, Granted, the standard of living for the average person is probably declining, if not stagnating. And I think that is also a product of the lack of participation by the average person. Personally, um, I vote in every election. Um, and I'm not going to get into what my political beliefs are, but I mean, you might be able to guess. But I think it's necessary that we all are a little bit more interested in the process of our own government instead of allowing these decisions to be made for us. Um, I am in favor of the cops wearing, what is it, the cameras on their badges or wherever on their body cams. I think that's probably the best answer to this, but in every case that has happened, it's been caught on camera already. So it's almost like it may not matter. Maybe this body camera situation would be more of a psychological measure for cops who um, might be up to no good in the first place. So I don't know. Um, I I think that anybody who wishes to make a change needs to get into the system. Um, I'm not so much in favor of the craziness that's been ensuing because it just allows the cops to justify their actions, to say that the majority of people are dangerous and you can't trust them. And at a moment's notice, there's going to be chaos. And that's not necessarily okay. And it's not true. Um, I think that if you want to make change, you need to raise children that go to college, that get a trade in law enforcement or in law or in government, um, and raise children with high morals and high integrity, so that when they go into these careers, uh, they understand that they're there to make things better for the population and not worse, and not to lord over a population and to treat them like the small people that are in their control. We are not in a zoo. We don't need keepers. We need people to protect and to serve, and that's with politicians as well. That's just a little bit of how I felt seeing things on TV with this Garner situation, with the Brown situation. And there's just been other instances. I believe there's a 12-year-old boy in Cleveland that was shot down because he had an airsoft gun. I don't know a whole lot about that, so I'm not going to comment too much on it because, again, I don't like to comment on things I'm not terribly informed about. I, it's just too much, and it's like the police have lost their damn minds, and this is like when my grandparents were young adults, and even my parents, that it's perfectly fine to just murder somebody because you think that they're dangerous. And even though this is our society puts black people in a position of being inherently dangerous, because of their skin tone and due to particular stereotypes. And I don't know. It's disheartening, it's dismaying, and I worry for my future as well as any offspring that I decide to bring into this world. But that was just my little 2-3 cents on the issue. Please tell me what you think about these things below. What do you think it's going to take to change things? Do you think more chaos and maybe an anarchy situation is going to change things? Or do you think that maybe the education of our citizenry will change things? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.
My world, it moves so fast today. The past, it seems so far away. And life squeezes so tight that I can't breathe.